Just under 21,000, 6,000 above what we were planning to spend, but we are okay with that. And right, I didn't write the check, Heather did. But it's been a good purchase, and it was something that Heather deserves. Before we ever even got the Toyota, we were within our first 2.5 years of marriage, we were utilizing only one vehicle. And Heather made the choice early on that she still had student teaching, and it was within a half a mile of where we were renting. And she made the choice in this type of weather in the winter, because it was about this time that she started student teaching before wrapping up school. And she made the choice to walk to school when the vehicle wasn't in the driveway, because I had a 45-minute commute to work. Those are sacrifices that we made that you don't get to see or we don't talk about.
Wait a minute.
And
she made.
You're right.
She made. Yeah, let's be a little more specific. She made. Yeah, she made, but they were good. They were good.
But because of those sacrifices, because of where we are and what we have done, and because of how we utilize our money that we have earned, we were able to go and do this for her.
Debt free, baby.
This is a 2018 Chevy Equinox LT. It is very nice. It is practically brand spanking new. There's only like 40,000 miles on this, so whoever had it did not have it long and did not drive it far. Let's just do a little walkthrough. Here's what I like about it. I won't go over everything, but this is what I like. I like that I have my regular analog odometer here, as well as my digital, because I like the analog as a good backup to see where I'm at, but it's getting harder and harder as the years go by because I'm old and I have eyes that suck. It's getting harder and harder to see the lines in between the numbers. So it helps to have this digital readout as well on here. We do have the dash in here. My phone is already paired up. I got some Rockset playing on it, so that's all really nice. It is touch screen. I don't have to mess with my phone at all. Climate control is both driver and passenger, and yes, we have heated seats. They're not leather seats, they are regular fabric. Another car that we were looking at had leather, and while I am a fan of leather, it is not a requirement. But this feature is super cool. The other car that we were looking at pretty closely was also a 2018 Equinox, but it was a Premier instead of just an LT. And the upgrade for the Premier is that you still have all these features, but it's slightly better. You know, you had the full sunroof. The entire roof of that car was a sunroof. You had the leather seats, you had climate control in the back, not just up front here. The dash was a bit bigger, it had more features to it. So it was nice, but ultimately it had more than what we needed. So we went with this one. It's a really nice car. It is pretty new for our standards. This is brand new. I do have the button that kicks it into all-wheel drive and keeps it there. What I believe it is, and I have to read the manual for sure, is that it is an all-wheel drive vehicle, but it won't kick into all-wheel drive unless it senses that it needs it. And this has extra like sensory perception here. This is a lot of sensory features. But if I click this button, it will stay in all-wheel drive. It is a push button. It is not a key ignition. It is a start-stop ignition for the car. So if I hit reverse, the backup screen comes up, and I don't have to have all the lines. I can choose to hit to make the lines go away so that it's not directing me. I need the direction though, and this dash is big enough, the screen is big enough and bright enough that I can see it. This car handles really well in the snow and such, especially since the weather wasn't calling for this at all, and it still shows that it's not supposed to snow, but it's snowing because it's Pennsylvania. So we have the hatch lift on the bottom. This was a really nice convenience feature that I wanted. So if I can either choose to have this button turned off, or I can have the hatch go up 3/4 of the way, or in this case the full way, and all I have to do is hit a button and it will lift the hatch. So this is really nice to have, that button, so that I can just have it ready to go. And then I have a button up on the top here for when I'm ready to close the hatch. Because usually, you know, when you're trying to navigate 2 kids and groceries or anything like that, it's really nice to have this feature, both in the door and on the back. The other cool thing about this is there is space in the back seat for the kids to grow and move around. Especially Ollie, since he's gonna be forward facing by the time he's 2, so give it another 6 months. There's enough space back here to fit 2 car seats, and then I believe if you turned Oliver around there and had him forward facing, you could probably fit a 3rd seat in if you really wanted to, or like a booster seat. It would be tight, yes, but for us, we don't know that we're having any more kids at this time, so this works quite well. There's enough leg room back here. If I take the car seats out and I need to push these down, these will lay flat, not angled like in the Ford, but flat. And I can do that by pulling these levers. I'm not gonna do it all the way now because they're car seats in here. But all I have to do is pull these 2 levers right here for the single seat and right here for the double seat on the left, and a little red dot will pop up right here on the back, and these will push forward automatically and they will lay flat. So you do not have to physically push them or anything like that. You'll just have to pull them up when they're in place. And we did that last night when we were driving the car off the lot, and it's actually really easy to get them back up into place and to push them down. So that is a super nice convenience feature if we're hauling particularly big stuff and we don't have to have the car seats in. It is a nice car, the Equinox. It's got a lot of additional features. It's got the rear backup camera. It has lights on the mirrors here for my turn signals. It also has little symbols on the mirror for blind spot warnings. If you are too close to another vehicle and that vehicle's in your blind spot, you might not be able to pick it up. Maybe your rear view camera won't pick it up or anything like that. These will go off and they will let you know that you're too close. So that's a super nice convenience feature there. But yeah, it's a really nice car. It drives super smooth. It's not, is it bigger than what we've had? Yes, obviously. It's bigger than the Ford that we have, but it is still considered a 4-cylinder, smaller SUV. But it's gonna suit our needs for quite a long time, and because it's a newer vehicle, we're gonna get a lot of years out of this, I have a feeling.
Mess with me? Fine. No. Come on, get in here.
Debt free.
You want to say anything? I struggle with talking about money.
You did good. You do really good. I hope there's people out there in YouTube land and computer land out there that understand that the American dream is not to be in debt to a bank. The American dream is to live independent from everything around you, you know? I mean, geez, own your house. Then you don't have to worry about payments. Own your cars. Then you don't have to worry about payments. You know, save your money. Be patient. Those are great things. Because you could plop down 20. I mean, that's what we did with ours. We $20,000 bought ourselves a 2017 Hyundai, and it was great. You know, title came in 2 weeks, and the thing was ours. It wasn't the bank's. So COVID came. We didn't care. We didn't have we didn't have payments to make. Are you cold?
I am.
You're wearing a leather jacket.
I should have.
I'm out here in just a felt.
The Kia was a good option for us. It would have still been a good vehicle. But because that vehicle left the market, we were willing to stretch a little bit further and put Heather in this nice 2018.
And you still had cash to pay for it.
And we still had cash to pay
for it.
But if that Kia was still on the market, we might have
Might have jumped on it.
Might have jumped on it.
But one thing that Philip had that was very good was that he had time, because we had an extra car, so he could borrow our car in the meantime. So he wasn't rushed. That was a big benefit for Philip. And he also had the resources. So, you know, you bought your car in a very low stress situation. You know, it wasn't, I got to have this and I got to have it tomorrow. What do you got? Here's the best deal we have, and get raked over to Kohl's. Nope. No, the ball was completely in Philip's court and Heather's court the whole time. And we better wrap this up because the shaking's getting worse. I don't know if you can see the microphone over there. So, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, we had time, we had resources. Thanks for them for loaning us the vehicle so that we could utilize it. And we were willing to go another 2 weeks with this, but when we test drove this one yesterday and took it out, and I got Heather, and I was like, this is what we're gonna do. We have fallen in love with this vehicle, and that's all there is to it. And that's why it sits here today, because at the end of the day, it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that we fell in love with this vehicle and we wanted it. So we hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and until next time, guys, we'll catch you in our next video.